everyone and Merry Christmas! That's the first thing that I want to say because I am uploading this video in a very special day. It's not Christmas yet, but it's going to be Christmas. And yes, you can totally laugh at my hat. In fact, I did this on purpose. So I went to the store the other day and decided to buy the worst looking one that I could find. This is the one that won. So yeah, go ahead. You can laugh. But this is a time like to be all together, to stay with your families, to stay with your friends, to recharge batteries. So I really hope that you are having some quality time with your loved ones. And second thing that I want to mention, which is also going to be very important, is the fact that we are going to have a small giveaway here. I have a bunch of codes here and around my table that are from the latest expansion, so Silver Tempest, and this one is from Lost Origins, I think, and I want to give them away as a way to thank you all for always being there for us, for always supporting us, and because, well, that means the world to us, and especially to me. So all you need to do, if you want to win some of these codes, is to be subscribed, of course, to the YouTube channel, to like this video, and then to comment down below your favorite 2022 memory, Pokemon related, please, because this is a Pokemon YouTube channel. And you will have the chance for me to reply with one code card. So check your YouTube app and check the notifications. I have 20 codes, so 20 winners will be selected from this video. By the way, I didn't tell you what this video is going to be about, which I should probably. We are going to be taking a look at the latest cards that were revealed yesterday that featured Magnezone, Gardevoir, and the Paradox Pokémon, so something quite big because I think this is going to shape the next format, and we are going to have a small discussion or where I see the game heading. The last thing that I want to mention before actually going into the new cards is that if you want to keep supporting the Shuffle Squad YouTube channel, and if you want to get cards, so physical cards or online code cards, that please remember to check the description down below, because then you have the links to our sponsors, and by using our codes you will get amazing discounts from PTCGO Store and Atlas Collectionables. So yeah, let's see some of the new cards and see together if they're going to make an impact or not in the game. So first things first, these are the cards that I was mentioning that were revealed just a couple of days ago, and they feature none other than the new Paradox cards. And we had a lot of discussion, we had a lot of theories about how these Paradox cards were going to look like, and now it seems that we have the answer. But let's not rush, let's start in order, because we only had some revelations, but still pretty good ones. We got to see the Magnezone EX line, Gardevoir EX line, and the Donphan's Paradox forms. Let's start with Magnezone. Not much to mention here about the new, like the previous lines, just the fact that they have different backgrounds that come directly from the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet video games, and I have to say that this is something that makes me especially happy and especially excited about. I'm from Spain. I don't know if that's something that I have ever mentioned, and you can probably tell because of my accents, right? So the fact that we are getting cards that are located in cities or places that I know, or that are a direct reference to my country and to my home place, well, that feels amazing. That feels absolutely amazing. And you can see the mills here in the background with this little friend. Well, no, we are not going to talk a lot about that. So Magnemite and Magneton, both weak to fighting. Okay, fine, and not much to say here. But then we arrive to Magnezone EX. So something that stands out clearly the first time that you see this card is that it is a stage 2, okay, but it has a ridiculous amount of health points, so 330 H point. That's basically what VMAX leaves. The advantage is that even if you get to KO a Magnezone EX, you only get to draw 2 prize cards. Now, the downside of Magnezone is that it is not that powerful, or that the attacks that you are getting are not going to be game changers, in my opinion. it has 2 attacks. The first one, which is probably going to be the most used one, it's called Energy Crash, and it deals 50 damage for each energy that your opponent has. Now this is very good. Of course, if you go against a Palkia or if you go against Lugia that happen to have lightning weakness, you are going to directly destroy them. And they don't have the answer, or they have little answers to KO Magnezone in just 1 hit. The second attack is not good. It's true that it only costs 2 energies, but it only deals 220 damage, which is not enough to KO any other EXs that we know of, or even, yeah, you can maybe KO some V Pokemon, but not the V Maxes, unless you play some sort of really weird damage modifiers. So, not the worst card in the world, not the best card in the world either. The only reason why I see Magnezone being played is because of the first attack, because of the fact that the first attack is actually quite handy, and if for whatever reason there is a deck that gathers a lot of energy, then maybe Magnezone EX will be played to counter that deck with just 1 energy attachment. But now, this is where the fun begins. This is the Ralts and Kirlia evolution line, which precede Gardevoir EX. By the way, something to note is that probably you are never going to be playing these cards, because there are better versions of them, especially Kirlia. There is this Kirlia from blah blah blah, Silver Tempest? I think it's Silver Tempest, actually, that has the trait of, basically the trait of ability. It lets you discard 1 card and draw 2 cards. So this is going to be like a huge consistency boost for any Gardevoir based deck. And what does Gardevoir do? Well, something really good. When I first read this card, I had mixed feelings about it because I didn't like the attack, but the ability is so good. So I'll read it first, and then we will discuss a little bit the pros and cons. The ability, it's called Psychic Embrace, and it lets you attach every single psychic energy from your discard pile to any other, to any psychic Pokemon that you have on the field. Unlimited times. So not once per turn or 1 energy per turn, no. All the energies that you have, you can put them back into the field with the cost of putting 2 damage counters on the Pokemon that each time that you attach an energy. I think that's insane. That's absolutely insane, because recycling energies and promoting more attackers, that allows you to, if you want, use Cheryl and to build an army of immortal psychic attackers. I think that's incredible. It's one of the best abilities that we've gotten so far. The problem that I see is that I'm not sure if Gardevoir EX is going to be an attacker itself. It only deals 190 and heals all special conditions from it, which is good, but it's not enough to KO a Pokemon. So I'm not 100% sure if that is exactly something that you will be using a lot. The possibilities here are basically endless. You can combine Gardevoir with maybe Mewtwo VMAX, Mewtwo V-Star with Calyrex VMAX, with a lot of different things, and then you can have used Cheryl, or you can even have used Hyper Potion in the same way as Duraludon does, because then you don't care, you just put them back. So I see Gardevoir being immediately played once it is officially revealed, and I mean once it's officially out in the set. And even if for whatever reason it is not played, there might be the possibility that some psychic attackers are released in the future and Gardevoir just makes a comeback. By the way, I am happy to see another playable Gardevoir card, but on the other hand, I feel that they are always focusing on Gardevoirs, or they rely on Gardevoir cards to do psychic attackers. But anyway, that's just my opinion. I think this is definitely one of the best cards. This is going to be one of the best cards of the set. And then let's discuss something that I think it's really, really interesting, and is the Paradox Pokémon. So what are Paradox Pokémons, you might be wondering, if you haven't played the game. So Paradox Pokémon are like kind of not exactly like mega evolutions, because they are not considered different forms forms from Pokemon, but they have a relationship with an already existing Pokemon, but they are a different one, okay? I don't want to spoil that much in case that you haven't played the game. By the way, play the games, because they are pretty funny. So, as you can see by the design of these cards, these are the Paradox Pokémon from Donphan, but they are not called Mega Donphan or Donphan VMAX or whatever. They have different names. One is called Iron Threads, and the other is, let me check, Great Task. I'm going to have such a hard time learning those because the names are completely different in Spanish. They have nothing to do with English. Anyways, we were discussing a lot if the Paradox forms were going to require a different mechanic like the Mega Evolutions did in the past, but no, we have already been answered. Mega Paradox Pokemon are, or it seems that they are going to be basic Pokemon. And while these two concrete examples that I have here on screen are nothing out of this world, they can be very scary. Because check the first one. So the first one is this ancient Donphan kind of Pokemon that is called Great Tusk. It's an EX Pokemon, it's basic, and it has 250 HP, so quite a lot. If you consider that the normal range of HP for a V Pokemon is between maybe 200 and 230 tops, 250 is something to pay attention to, so to say at least. And then the attacks, well, this is a fighting type card, weak to Psychic, so yeah, well, Gardevoir can actually KO it in just one attack. And it has two attacks. The first one deals 40 and allows you the possibility to discard in the stadium. And the second one is 250, which it's a bit costly, but it's true that you can, if you want to, you can power Great Task with your Koraidon EX that we've already reviewed in previous videos from this channel. And if you attach maybe a Choice Belt, then you are already escalating the damage to 280, which by the way is enough to KO a VMAX, so something to keep an eye on, definitely. And then the second Pokemon that we have here, it's called Iron Threads, okay, whatever with that names, Iron Threads, and it is a metal type Pokemon, has two attacks, but they are not very good. I had to be honest with you, they are not very good. For 3 colorless energies, you select 3 Pokemon on the field and you deal 30 to them, okay? But then for 4 energies, which is way too much, you deal 160 and then switch that Pokemon with one on your bench. So while hitting and run is always a good mechanic, I feel that this is not going to be played because it takes too much effort just to power it up, unless Pokemon then suddenly decides to print something like a special triple metal energy, and then I will have to shut down. But what I think it's interesting about these two cards is I was really considering the possibility of Paradox cards being like a different kind of card that was not even an EX, but no, they are going to have like their own signature cards. I feel that they are going to have a lot of HP, and I also have the impression, I don't know why, that we are going to be having a lot of support with Paradox Pokemon. I don't know exactly how they are going to do it, but maybe they will get like a Mega Turbo kind of item that will accelerate energies, but something that we need to acknowledge is the fact that right now the power creep has gone up so much that I think that we will need to get used to the fact that some of the basic Pokemons now will have 250 or maybe 280 or maybe even more. Who knows? I don't think that these Donphan ones are just going to be the exception. And the other thing that I want to now discuss a little bit is how the game is going to evolve, because so far a lot of cards that gave a lot of speed to the game are rotating out, and I feel that I have already lived that. I have already lived a rotation in which a lot of the speed and consistency cards rotated out, and Pokemon, the company, started printing a lot of stages too. And that was in 2017, or yeah, I think it was 2017. And guess what? The stages too dominated the format. So let me explain it with an example to see what I am feeling, and let me know if you think that way as well. Okay, so this that you're seeing here, guys, on screen is none other than the World Champion deck from 2017. As I said before, I see many similarities between what happened after that rotation and what is happening now 5 years after that. The deck that won featured an Stage 2 Pokemon, and this was pretty surprising because up to that point, all the decks were either Stages 1s or very basic Pokemon that could basically KO everything, like Volcanion, for instance. Gardevoir GX was, I think, probably one of the first that changed that tendency, and as a result, as you can see, the deck is one that focuses purely on putting out in the field a Gardevoir GX as soon as possible. And it was able to do it because we had cards like Bullpix, because we had Diancie. Is that how you pronounce that in English? Diancie? I don't even know how to pronounce it in Spanish, so whatever. And I think that it can actually be viable in the upcoming format, because if you think about it, there are not many ways to disrupt your opponent's hand. The only card we are left with is Judge. And Judge is not as good as Marnie is, because you could still play Marnie going second, set up your field and get opportunities. But Judge, it's more limiting. It's much more limiting. And it does not let you advance as much as you would like during the game. So I have my doubts. I'm not saying that Judge is not going to be played. In fact, I would bet that Judge is going to be heavily played. But it's just that I don't think it's like the best disruption card for going second. That's just my point. And as I was explaining, so Gardevoir GX was a very powerful deck. It had everything. Once you were able to set up multiple Gardevoirs GX, you had energy acceleration, you had recycling power, you had an infinite amount of damage in the field, basically. So this is not even a joke. And the deck was perfectly designed to get your rare candies. So I really think that this is where we are heading towards, that we will be seeing the new birth of Stages 2 decks that once that they hit the field are going to completely change the approach of the game. And piece of advice, get your high rarity rare candies, because probably they will shine. I think that if Pokemon wants us to play Stages 2, they are going to. And to be honest, rare candies are the signature mechanic of Pokemon. The fact that you have like one tiny, not so powerful Pokemon, but that then suddenly evolves into something that destroys the entire field, that's something that only Pokemon has. Well, up to an extent, but you know what I'm saying. So I have the feeling that we're going to be seeing a lot of these type of builds from this time on. And the other thing that I want to say is that probably the counts of boss orders are going to go up in the decks, because they are the only way to target down some of the Pokemon before they evolve into these powerful beasts. So either boss orders or things that can hit directly to the bench. And in that case, Manaphy and other Pokemon that can protect our bench are going to become even more popular. So this is a little bit what I see the format evolving towards. Not to make a joke, but yeah, evolving towards. And I really hope that, to me, this will be a welcome change, because I'm a bit sick of things like Mew or things that require little to none setup. I miss this because this is like all-time Pokemon. So yeah, let me know what you think, and if you will also be happy to see Stages 2 making a real comeback. So guys, that was it. I really hope that you enjoyed the video. The one thing that I just want to say goodbye with is that I know that I have only been with the Shuffle Squad for a couple of weeks, really, but it has been a very interesting experience. I am very grateful with the opportunity of being able to post my videos, so to meet new people and to reach new audiences. That's what I really like, and to share my passion and my love with the game. Please comment down below, even if you don't participate in the contest, just because I love to see your comments. I love getting feedback, and I love meeting new people thanks to this window that I have. Stay with your families, have a great time off, and we will see each other pretty soon, I hope. So potentially next week. So Merry Christmas to you all and Happy New Year!
The Shuffle Squad is proudly sponsored by Atlas Collectibles, the best place to buy any trading card game product online. Visit atlastcg.com and at the checkout screen make sure to use code TSS12 to save an unbeatable 12% off your entire order. Atlas Collectibles will ship your product anywhere in the world, so make sure you're taking advantage of the 12% savings with TSS12. And if Pokemon is not your thing, don't worry. Go to atlastcg.com and see all the other amazing trading card game products they have there to offer.
The Shuffle Squad is partnered with PTCGO Store to provide our community with the best access to Pokemon TCG codes. They have codes available 24/7, instant email delivery, and you can save 5% off by using code TSS5. If you're a YouTube member or Patreon supporter, you'll have access to a special code that gets you 10% off. So what are you waiting for? Use code TSS5 today and save 5% on your next order of codes on any codes available at ptcgostore.com.
PokeXWord, the best place to get your fill of Pokemon-inspired puzzles. New puzzles are posted every day, and they recently launched a new Guess That Pokemon puzzle, which is a ton of fun to play. Go check them out at PokeXWord.com and be sure to follow them on Twitter for your chance to win a ton of PTCGO codes every month.
Check out the Late Night Series Season 6, brought to you by myself, Zach Lesage, and the Shuffle Squad. We're going to be running a bunch of sick events for the Pokemon community, and they start on August 30th. So one thing you might be noticing here is that there's an EU time and an NA time. We have one at 12 p.m. Eastern, which works out to about 5 p.m. in London. And then we have one at 7 p.m. Eastern, which should help out a lot of players on the West Coast play in this event. That being said, we still have a lot of cool things going on. Expect similar prizing that we've had for other Late Night Series events. Expect better staffing, expect better tournament experiences, and of course we do have a stream going up for this season as well, and I will be streaming the event on Twitch. That being said, we have the whole season up on the Play Limitless website. Late Night 51 all the way through 70 runs until we hit the Invitational on November 5th. So check that out, sign up today, and support Zach Lesage Events and the Shuffle Squad. See you there.